Joining us in studio today, Ashley Metzger, Senior Advisor from the Desert Water Agency, and we were talking about water and drought and easing of restrictions because we've had a pretty plentiful winter thus far.
We have, and March was especially wet. It was one of the wettest 3-week periods on record. So the governor did recently come out and ease some of the restrictions. He did not, however, end the drought emergency.
Right, we are still in a drought emergency. The drought has eased, but it has not disappeared. We do have a great snowpack, a record snowpack in the Sierra, which also will be beneficial heading into springtime.
Oh, absolutely. So it's good to see that the governor is easing back on some of the things. Like previously, he had asked all Californians to cut their water use by 15%.
Which is a big number.
Yes, and he's no longer making that ask. And then the other thing that he changed was all of the water agencies in the state had to implement at least level 2 of their water shortage plans, regardless of whether they had a shortage or not. So here in the Coachella Valley, level 2 was across the board, and that meant that people could not use sprinklers during daylight hours.
Right.
And restaurants could not serve water unless it was on request.
Now they can serve water without being asked, and you can water during daylight hours, but really it's better if you don't.
Well, maybe hold the brakes on that. The local agencies still have to take action at the board of director level to change the restrictions that they have in place.
Okay, so statewide, he's allowed you to do that, but you have to act on it.
Yes, so the local agencies will be looking at these things. So keep your eye on local water board meetings over the next month or so, and those changes will be evaluated.
Okay, so that so we drop down a tier potentially.
Yes.
On conservation efforts because we have had a lot of rain over the course of the last, but there is still significant drought in areas around California.
Well, I think that's up for debate. I would imagine that we are looking at the end of this drought emergency, but what is important to note is the future of California is going to be hotter and drier. So it's important for us to conserve, especially living here in a desert. It's always important for us to use water wisely. So, don't water during or 48 hours after rain. Don't water so much it's going onto the sidewalk or, down into the gutter.
And don't hose off your driveways and sidewalks and that sort of thing.
Yeah, use a broom instead. So those common sense things, we should always be looking to do those just to protect water for future generations.
I know that the Water Agency has lots of great ways for you to conserve, including turf rebates that are available to take out grass and put in desert-friendly landscape. You have smart watering, irrigation controllers. So there are lots of ways for people to reduce their household water usage, and most of that takes place outdoors.
Yes, and it's always, again, a great thing to look at doing, even if restrictions are being eased, because we are looking at some of these things becoming permanent, like the prohibition to water non-functional or grass that's just there to be looked at. It may be that those areas have to be converted into desert landscaping. So HOAs, businesses, they should be looking into converting now.
Okay, important. And it's important to conserve always, as you say, since especially here in the desert, water is a precious commodity. So you guys are doing a great job of reminding us of that.
Thank you.
All right, Ashley, thank you very much for the important reminders. So just because we got a lot of water doesn't mean we're out of the woods entirely just yet. The College of the Desert Foundation is hosting one of its biggest fundraisers tonight. What this means for the organization and how it will impact students, plus the Living Desert Zoo and Gardens is helping the desert tortoise grow at a rapid rate, learn how they are continuing their conservation efforts. All of that straight ahead here on News Channel 3 at noon.